Hello, we keep going, it keeps getting darker. Those of you that are watching this in one sitting or listening in one sitting, you'll see the light slowly fading behind me. The spotlight that I've managed to set up from my lounge light, I think is doing well and holding up well. My coronavirus haircut is still looking the same, maybe a little bit ginger, and you can't necessarily see the hole my girlfriend left in my hair. And in this episode, we are talking about how can you adapt your business, your life, and if you don't, sadly, the consequences probably are going to be your business not being here maybe in a year's time or 18 months' time. It's tricky times. We're seeing different businesses react in different ways. It's quite easy to put your hands up and say, coronavirus, it's killed my business, and we have a business that isn't trading, can't trade at the minute. It's costing us tens of thousands of pounds every month to be shut. But we will try and work our way through it and adapt and keep working. And some days it's hard, to keep going and keep remaining positive. But what other option do we have? We have to keep going. So in which ways can you adapt? Now, one of the things, I think in general, certain people find this easier than others. Depending on your character trait, depending on what type of person you are, adapting and changing your ways can be quite a tricky thing to do if you don't like change. Now, one of the things we've always done at Morgan Branding is go into businesses and try and change them. And when I've realised that over the years, I've had to grow in the way that we do it and we go about it, and the way that we sell the change. It's not just the business owners we have to deal with, it's the staff. Sometimes staff get wary, they think they're going to lose their jobs, or whatever is going on. But people do not like change. The business owners don't like change. The business owners often say to me that their customers don't like change, and they're right. Their customers don't like change, and they moan about change, but once it's happened, they get on with it. They move on, and hopefully if you're changing for the better, not just changing for changing's sake, then you will end up in a better place. Now, for me, coronavirus, out of all the horror that it's causing, the one positive that I've seen out of it is it is forcing change on us. It is forcing change on businesses, it's forcing change on people and how we interact and how we live our lives. Some of that not for the better, but some of that maybe is for the better. Is the worldwide travel that we're now cutting back on, and the climate change, effects are probably being reversed tenfold at the minute because we're just not burning as much fuel. We're not burning as many fossil fuels. It's going to be an interesting time. So there is a lot of bad things going on, but the changes that we are having to make in our personal life and the changes that we have to make in our business might not be for the worse. I would say the biggest change that is going on right now is people that previously weren't online or had a very limited presence online are realizing they have to move and move fast. The companies that were already there have absolutely boomed during this time and found a way to adapt. The companies that have had to catch up and adapt and have done it quickly are doing well now. And there are still some companies that, in my eyes, are burying their head in the sand and saying that, once this is over, we'll go back to the way that we always did business. And I personally can't see that. I just think even if it's a 5% change, business is going to change, our life is going to change, and we have to try and adapt for that. So we've worked with farm shops, moving them to click and collect. Now click and collect is more expensive for them, delivery is more expensive for them, but some of these customers would just not shop with them anymore. And what they have done is pick up new customers that feel safe shopping in that environment, that don't feel safe in maybe one of the major supermarkets that they previously shopped at. And during this period, they may now gain a customer for life by a very, it's not exactly free change, but a change to the way that they do business. And not just saying, you can come in our shop and we're going to do social distancing, but that's it. We're not going to do a click and collect. We're not going to do anything. Click and collect is one that I never really fully understood. I always look in Tesco car park before this. I thought, why would you click and collect? Just get a delivery slot when you're home or go in the shop. Why would somebody bother doing a click and collect slot? But I do understand that some people didn't, now know when they're home. And obviously now it's proving immensely popular, where I'm not 100% sure that delivery to people's door is going to be the best route going forward, with, as I say, with climate change and all them things that I think they call it the last mile in delivery is very expensive, is getting that product in, from the warehouse to your door. Whereas when we go shopping in a supermarket or in a farm shop, we're going to the warehouse. All the stuff is there rather than it coming to us. So I do think click and collect is going to see a big increase. Obviously, delivery has become even more imperative, and I think will continue to grow. As I say, I'm not sure it's the best thing if we all 100% of us had delivery, but with click and collect, it's a good little benefit. Now, obviously, with them, it's getting online. With the businesses that are currently shut, I think getting online now is more key than ever. Now, the difficult thing is, how do I get online if I haven't got the budget to get online at the minute? And that is going to be tricky. And I don't have the answer to that. At the end of the day, if you want to get a professional to build your website, it's going to cost money. There is companies like us that will provide flexibility and payment plans and try and bend as much as we can to help people get back on their toes. But at the end of the day, you have to make an investment in these kind of things or learn it yourself. Now, yes, it is possible, but sometimes doing what you're good at and leaving an expert to do what they're good at in building a website, you will get a better result. Spend £1,000 now will give higher returns than maybe trying to do it yourself long term. So there's pros and cons to that. It's not always easy. The solutions to problems sometimes is in spending more money isn't ideal for people, and I understand that. But now is a case more than ever of getting online. If you're a barber shop, for example, for blokes, I know for women, usually women go and book their hair appointment or nails or whatever. It's not kind of a turn up and play. But for blokes with barbers, it often is. I know more a move into bookings, but I think now you're going to have to. There's no choice. We're not going to have 6 people sat on a bench waiting, for the next haircut to become free. We're going to want to turn up and know that maybe there was 5 minutes in between the haircut, and the barber had a chance to wash their hands, the barber had a chance to wash down the seat, or clean the clippers, or whatever it takes, just to make us feel safe and secure. And we want to know that we're not turning up at 9:30 and there's 5 people in the queue before us, and we're going to have to sit there for an hour or half an hour. So I do see a big change in that. Restaurants, are you going to half your capacity? Are you going to have to move to delivery? Are you going to have to move to click and collect? Are you going to have to move to prepping meals for people to help people out? What are you going to have to do to change your ways? Pubs, could you sell some of the beer that you've got already in? Could you do offers for people that includes beer that they could take home? Could you do fruit boxes at this time when you're shut? Could you look to expand your offering when you do open? Or what could you be doing now to ensure that when you do open, you are ready to open in a safe manner? With restaurants, that may be, cutting the number of tables in half. That is going to have a big hit to income. But if you start planning for that now, what can you do instead of having Friday, Saturday, Sunday is really busy times? Can we spread that more? It's always been a problem that we've tried to assess with seasonal businesses, but also, weekend businesses. Is I think people are going to want to go to places when they're quieter. Do I want to go to a restaurant on Saturday night where there's 200 people there? Would I rather go on a Tuesday night when there's only 50 people there? So it might become a selling point for that restaurant that there's going to be less people in on that night, or we are capping the capacity, or whatever it takes to make people feel safe. Some of these decisions are not going to be on business and profit and turnover, or whatever you're looking at. They're going to be on human-to-human decisions. What does it take to make somebody feel safe and make them return to my restaurant? That may not look like a profitable business model in the old way of doing business, but business is going to change. That might mean that the cost of a meal goes up to £35 a head and not £25 a head, let's say, for example. If you're going to cut the restaurant in half, people might understand that they're going to have to pay a little bit more to go out and eat during this time. Flights are going to be the same. They're talking about social distancing on airlines, which means less seats. Less seats means more. It's going to be more expensive. This is going to be the way that we have to adapt in this world and accept that some things are going to be more expensive because of social distancing and keeping people safe. But how you keep people safe is going to remind people of how you dealt with this situation, and customers are going to become more loyal than ever. So you need to think, for me, about the adaptations is about becoming more efficient, making sure your business is efficient as possible, because your margins are going to be stretched more than ever. If that's online booking systems, I see a lot of hairdressers and barbers that, still take bookings over the phone or through Facebook or whatever. And what we've seen through the farm shops that we've worked with is simply moving that system to online frees up so much time that if you're a barber that can cut hair for 8 hours a day, And historically, you could do one person every 30 minutes. So you're doing 16 haircuts in a day. You may find that now, having to leave a 5-minute gap in between each of them haircuts, you can now only do 16 8, 16, 14 haircuts a day. So you're losing 2 haircuts a day. Now, if you can make your processes and systems more efficient, that a lot of barbers are, they're dealing with the phone at the same time. It might take longer to cut somebody's hair. They're dealing with inquiries at night and going, oh, my diary's in work. And all my days have I heard that with hairdressers. Oh, we tried to go to a central diary, but, the one diary in the hairdressers is the only way it works. No, that's not true. The software can be used and updated from your phone, from your iPad, from wherever. So if somebody tries to book through Facebook, ideally there's an online booking terminal that they can just go to and see what your availability is. That is the live calendar. And, if your aunties rang you up and asked for 11 o'clock on a Thursday, tell her to go to the website, book the 11 o'clock slot on the Thursday, and then it's gone and you can't double book. So we would be recommending for people to look towards online booking systems, look towards getting the website sorted, sending customers that way rather than you dealing with inquiries. This is what we've seen with farm shops, is they can't deal with the telephone and email inquiries, or it takes them so long that getting a system in place to deal with that for you is much more efficient and allows you to serve more customers and make more money. Just because you have to pay maybe 30 quid or 40 quid a month or 20 quid a month for a tool doesn't mean that that's minus 40 quid for your business. It might actually mean that frees up 2 hours a week. That means that you can earn another £50. It actually means plus £10 a week for your business. Or sorry, £40 a month, and it might be plus £50 a month for your business. But not only that, but you get back your free time. Them evenings, them weekends that you're working, you can send people to your booking platform and get them to book online. That's what we saw with the farm shops. They were saying we had no life. 7 days a week, the phone was ringing. We're trying to feed people. I know before this, a lot of companies would work in that way. They would work, all the hours God sends, but you can get systems and processes in place. So some of the nice things that you've enjoyed during this lockdown, maybe spend more time with your family, that you'll be able to do if you get yourself organised within your business. So if you try and run your business in exactly the same way as you were doing in February 2020, as you envisage doing in February 2021, my guess is you won't be trading in 2021, and you certainly won't be trading to the profit or the levels or the service that you were back only 2 months ago. So thank you for listening. Next episode, we are going to touch more on the adaptations and getting online and what that means. Cheers.